Welcome to sunny Scotland. We're in Leiden today for the first day of our Scottish road trip, and I can't believe how warm it is. It was freezing cold last night, but it's super warm now. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. Took it nice and easy to get ready, and now we're about to go and ride the Golfie. Yeah. Being so good with my goggles because I've never properly looked after any goggles. And these ones, these lovely melon ones I got given, definitely looking after them, keeping them in the bag when I'm not using them and making sure I don't scratch them. What a lovely pedal through the forest. Forgot how nice it was here, because normally I don't appreciate it that much because it's under race conditions and you're just racing to get to the next stage to drop into a trail, whereas now just cruising along and having a look, and it's so nice. E-bike's going okay so far. We used 1 bar of battery, which was a lot better than I used at the race the other weekend, but it's only been 6 miles. Classic Golfie climb. I've never stopped and properly looked at this before because I've always been being thrashed with whoever it is that I'm riding with, and I've never really properly stopped to appreciate anything. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look at it for the first time. Look. Also still really sunny, a little bit windy but not massively windy. I'm looking forward to dropping into some trails though. Been going for like nearly an hour and it's just been, well, we have been pedalling slow but we haven't done any actual riding yet. So. To our very first trail, give Jim a bit of a gap because it is dusty as anything and I don't want to be blinded. So been about an hour or so, I would say, of going up, which is fine because, you know, really we were just taking it very steady as opposed to pushing the climb. So definitely could have done it quicker if you wanted, but yeah, we didn't, just taking it chill. I've been a little bit under the weather since the race and don't want to push it too much today. So Jim's gonna wait at every like prominent junction unless I definitely can't get lost, because he knows where I'm going, he knows where he's going rather, and I've no idea. I don't think I've come this side before, so I've normally gone up the other bit, so this all seems kind of new, well, to me. I'm just taking it nice and steady. First run to warm up the ankle, but it's definitely better, and slow and well, I say slow, controlled riding at the Welsh the other weekend got me second place at Nationals on this bike, so I know that just chilling out is good riding for me as well, to be honest. And we've got a good few days of riding ahead of us too, because we're here today, then heading up to place called Glassy Bike Park. A bit up north, and then heading towards Lagan for the last part of our Scottish trip. So a good few days of riding. Oh, this is hard on the ankle. All those little bumps. What was quite good about the Welsh is there was only 2 bumpy trails and the rest were alright, whereas this is painful. Oh, this is a lot for my ankle. Yeah. Yeah, so interestingly, although the injury was done on one big impact, the big impacts seem to be alright. So jumps and drops and stuff, but it's all these little constant bumps that seem to be really upsetting it. So you can imagine going down this with all the rocks is pretty uncomfortable on it. So I've turned the, I've had to really faff around with the rear shock. So I've made it a lot softer, which has kind of messed with the balance of the bike a little bit, affected its handling and grip. But, you know, at least I can get out and do something. Oh, struggling on this, really uncomfortable. It's just annoying, really. It's taking such a long time to recover. I just adjusted my tyre pressures. Not that that will solve all the issues, but I think it will help with the grip. Also, Jim said he was finding it a bit of a, like, really physical as well. So that made me feel better, because it means it's not just me that's like finding it hard, it is just hard. Because it's, well, not only is it super dry, but also the ground, it's like all these little rocks, so they are sliding underneath you as well as you sliding. That was sketchy, that bit. Stop there for Jim. I've got my front brake, I think needs a bleed. Oh. So dusty. Definitely want gaps in between people today. Dusty as anything. This is just like, what's mad about Scotland is this is an easy trail. Oh. And you know why it's an easy trail? Because it's not like super death, but it's still like steeper than a lot of places I'd normally ride. I like coming here though, because it's a good show to me how my riding has, improved over the year. Oh, weird. I honestly thought the trail was that way. That was very confusing. Yeah, how my riding has improved over the year. And that's too slow for that one. Obviously not improved that much, but you get my point. You come to somewhere that you haven't ridden in a while and see how your confidence and skill is. So considering I've had such a rubbish off season in terms of injuries and everything else, general busyness, I rode well and riding this well. See, for me, this is the kind of thing that I don't really like, because it's a drop which ordinarily wouldn't be a problem, but it's a turn into a drop into a number of other turns. Try and ride a bit more. This doesn't help that these conditions, like, on the one hand, like, are amazing. On the other hand, it's like literally conditions I hate, because it's so loose and I feel like you haven't got the grip. And when you haven't got the grip, you're then worried about stopping. Oh well, the next time I come down here, it'll be like fucking massive PB, just because the fact that I'll probably ride it better, because I'll have a better idea of what's coming. Jim's just informed me that was the second hardest trail in Golfie. I forget, what did you say it was called?
Second base.
Second base. So now I don't feel so...
by the college lads, it's called Base College.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't feel so bad about having ridden only like the tiniest fraction of it. And this is the last part of it apparently, but it's not as bad. But now, as you can see, I've kind of lost my bottle a little bit, as you would. And he also agrees there's no grip, so that does make me feel better. When somebody else goes, oh my god, that was really hard, it makes you feel better, because you're like, oh, it wasn't just me then. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe to my channel for more cool stuff. Here we are at Flat White. This is the one that Jim really wanted to ride. So let's hope that this is a bit more rideable for me than the last one. It started off a lot better. So classic loose and bumpy, tons of braking bumps, lovely for the ankle. But at a gradient that's just a little bit better for me. All the really dusty loose stuff frightens me, because the worst crashes I've ever had, where I've lost the most skin, has always been these ones. And that's because you just get overexcited in the drive, and also you accidentally go quicker as well. It's not just you push harder, you just go quicker because the trails are running quicker, and so there's much more room for error around that sort of thing. I can tell as well, I've been riding so much like natural stuff that these berms feel so weird to ride, like out of practice of berms. That would be a fine line. Get sucked into that. So considering this has just been redone, it's clearly being ridden a lot. So dusty, still dusty, and when Jim went down, he's quite a lot further ahead of me. I can super feel that rear shock's too, like, way too soft, but it's what allows me to ride anything remotely bumpy without feeling like I'm fracturing the ankle, so it's going to have to stay like that. We were just saying how we're like confused between this and the trails at Inner Leithen, is like which one's a which. Because both of us with races have always ended up like you go between the two of them. And when I've come here before on an uplift, it's always been over on the Inner Leithen side. The view is so nice. I'm pretty sure I've done most of these climbs before, but I really can't remember them. Normally I'd be in the box struggling, so this is just so nice. And you can see the river in the background there as well, which looks amazing. Kind of want to get in it, I'm that warm at the moment. We are now on a bit of an adventure, so we want to go to another forest called Glen Benner, because we've been recommended that there are really good trails there that aren't ridden quite as much as these ones. So we need to go to the top, and we're trying to find a track called Feed the Pony, which I'm pretty sure I've ridden before. Then we go down that, which should take us to the bottom, and then we will be able to pedal from there across to this other forest. Also, how cool is it the fact that come all the way up here and the weather's still really nice? Because I was worried that we'd come up to Scotland and lose all the good weather, but it's amazing. It's almost like the middle of summer. If anything, I'm almost a bit too hot. What a lovely view up here. So nice. We've tried to look at trail forks. Doesn't make sense again. There seems to be so much missing from trail forks, which really doesn't help it, because it makes it so confusing when there's trails everywhere. So we're just going to basically follow our nose now. Don't even know if we're on the trail here, but we're going to head down and see if it takes us somewhere where we can then pick up something that makes a bit more sense for us to get across to that woodland. This doesn't seem like a trail to me. feed the pony. We haven't gone all the way to the top because the climb is apparently savage, and we're trying to maintain some battery so that we can actually go and ride over at Glen Bennett and not sort of just be on one bar by the time we get there. So, whoa. The only trouble with all these fire road bits of climbing is when you get to go down the trail again, your brain's like, whoa, what am I doing type thing. Yeah, this is better. This is what I kind of remembered this place to be like.
Yeah, it's a proper track.
It's good what? So many lines in here. Whoa. We also were like a little bit lost, partly because there's been so much forestry work done that you couldn't see. It didn't look familiar compared to the normal climbs. A lot of it used to have lots of trees and bits of forest around, whereas like now it's all out in the open. That made it a lot harder to get your bearings, really. But we're here, and this is definitely a lot less ridden than what the other trails have been today. Although my brakes could do with some attention, I'm glad I took the e-bike because I would have been absolutely knackered otherwise on the rayon today, especially with the heat. Considering it's a lot less ridden, there's a lot of line choice options.
Exactly where I want it to be.
Perfect. I nearly lost it right at the end there. Pinged off.
That was way better.
That was the EWS stage as well. So that's pretty cool. And I thought it was just a fire road, but this actually is still the trail. We made it down to the bottom, so we're now still on our pursuit across the other forest, but we have managed to find somewhere where we might be able to have a snack, because neither of us brought any snacks with us and we only had one bottle of water, so now we're pretty hungry and thirsty. Over that direction over there would be Peebles, so we're heading back that way when we've finished. We should be heading up over to that woodland over there, I'm presuming, to find those other trails. The River Tweed, so that makes sense because we're in the Tweed Valley. Pretty pleased with myself, to be honest, because I think we've ridden some quite gnarly trails, and definitely the dust was a bit scary in places. I only had that one trail where I basically got off everything, but if that was one of the hardest trails here, then that didn't make me feel too bad. And also, just last time I came here, I just struggled. Everything felt steep, out of my comfort zone all the time, whereas today I was more just being careful. And definitely the corner training that I had in the coachings made a massive difference to those steep and loose corners, because I used to didn't know what to do with them, whereas now I'm like, oh, still just drop your wrist every time, and that makes a massive difference with my control of the bike. Nice little snack, and a drink and a snack are now not very far away, because it's that woodland Up there's the sign, Glen Benner. It's the trail we've been looking for on Trail Fox, so we're going to drop into it now. Don't stop if it's gnarly because I'll already be riding as though it is.
Unless it's like mental.
Yeah. So, taking it super steady because we've no idea what these trails are going to be like. And also, they're not as well ridden as the stuff on the other side, meaning could be trees, all sorts of stuff, because you don't know what's coming, do you? So, yeah, just taking it nice and steady. We're not entirely sure which one it is. The one was like something nuts downhill, and the other one was like deer or something. Yeah, so we don't know which is which because we're still, if I'm honest, struggling with the Trail Fox to make sense of it. So as you see, taking it super steady because, well, it's been a big day actually. We've done over 30k. I say over because I paused my watch at one point and forgot to turn it back on, so I've definitely missed some. And there's been a lot of climbing and trying to maintain the battery, so just going super steady down because mentally I'm physically tired, and some of the stuff has been rough, hasn't it? So my ankle is definitely feeling it, but it's good for it. It really is, because it's pushing it harder and harder, but in quite a controlled manner because of the suspension, which is really what it needs. My next form of rehab is going to be in a swimming pool to try and get it to, well, work walking, because it doesn't really work walking at the moment, and that's why there is no way I can run. So, yeah, doing some exercise in the pool will be interesting. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but this is very, very loose and pretty steep and quite exposed in places as well. And there's all these like little bits of rock that it's not just the dust, it's the fact it's the rocks, so the ground moves underneath as you're going along, which is pretty sketch. But I'm staying pretty calm, mainly because I'm talking to you guys on the camera. Whoa!
Alright?
Yeah, it will. Didn't get off once. Quite pleased with myself. This was the bit that I was talking about that looked super like I was in Austria. Like, these buildings reminded me of it, and the farmyard machinery outside, and just the way the setup is with the background over there and the trees. It reminded me of a little town that I went through in Austria when I did an expedition when I was at college. And then just to back everything up, the houses as well. Look at the way the houses are, and compared to like Peebles and Innerleithen that are just a couple of miles down the road, it's a totally different feel down here of yeah, compared to being in Peebles and Innerleithen. And it's madness. Even the people are like totally different. I'm also super proud of myself. This time last year I would not have ridden that trail without having to dab for a lot of those corners, because for me it would have been too steep and tight and I wouldn't have known how to do it and got in a panic. But I only had to dab once, and that was when it was really slidey and my back wheel nearly went off the side, so I did dab then, and I think most people would have. Look at the view.
Be nice that, wouldn't it? Look at that.
Coos of the non-Highland variety. Did see some Highland cows as well, but I didn't take any video of that because I wasn't sure how long GoPro would continue to last. We've made it back 40k, nearly 5 hours. My arse hurts quite a lot.
41.47 in mine.
Yeah, that's because I paused mine and forgot to take it.
1,350 metres of climbing.
That explains why we feel the way we do.
The way we do.
We're out there. So that's the end of our ride. We are now going to go and find some water to get into. chill out a little bit. It's well, we've still got hours of light left, and then after we've done our little chill out, we are going to start heading up further north to go to our next location on this trip, which is Glassy Bike Park. So that will be the next vlog. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please let me know why you've enjoyed it, what else you would like to see. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you can see notifications when more videos are coming up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.